Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Sugar House Park, the Grace on Fire. I am interviewing today a quite astounding woman in our community, the Salt Lake community. Sandra Malbon has been a leader of the community since I can remember, since she moved here from Hawaii, 1996?
Yes.
1996. She has been a leader in the community in so many ways, so involved in so many things, and I am so grateful and so honored to have her here with us all to talk to her and find out a little bit more about this quite amazing spiritual leader of our community. So let's all give just a really warm and gracious welcome for Sandra Malbon. Thank you, thank you. Sandra, you have been so involved in the community and helped with so many things. I'd like to start, though, with you've written a book.
Yes.
Sandra has written this book, A Joyful Journey, Exploring Your Vibration of Creation. Sandra, could you tell us all a little more about your book?
Sure, yeah. Well, I've had quite a journey. When I was 15 years old, I suffered from really deep depression and had thoughts of suicide. And over the years, that has actually continued. Many times thinking, I want to check out. And at some point, I realized that I didn't, that I wanted to change my thinking. I didn't want to be depressed anymore. I wanted to live a joyful life. And so I wrote this book, and it actually has exercise. It's a workbook. And I share with you lots of exercises that I've used over the years to change my paradigm, my thinking. And so when I tell people I've been depressed and suicidal, they don't believe it of me, but I have. So I'm just here to say that that can be changed. And now my life is so happy. I love my life. I never think of checking out anymore. So, woo! Thanks.
Thank you, Sandra. And I know Sandra personally. I have read the book myself. It is fabulous. I recommend this book to everybody, whether you're feeling depressed or not. This is a beautiful book. You also have a CD that goes along with it, correct? She also has a CD that goes along with the book. So you are the spiritual leader of Unity, and you've been involved in Unity in many, many ways. Tell us, how long have you been involved with Unity of Salt Lake City?
Well, I've been involved in Unity since the 1970s. In 1975, when I was 25, as a matter of fact, I started going to Unity, discovered it, and love it, and I've never left. It's I moved here in 1996, and of course, I sought out a Unity with expectations of having coming to a really small center and discovering that it was actually a large spiritual center, and I was just thrilled. So I've been the spiritual leader for 3 years, coming up on my third year, and actually an associate spiritual leader since 2004, when I became licensed. So I love Unity, and it's quite the adventure for me being the spiritual leader. I've learned so much, and I've grown so much, and I love working with people, and most of all, I love sharing the Unity principles. So that's the story on Unity.
Sandra, yes, you have been very involved. I remember in 2000 you being a huge organizer of the January 1st New Year's meditation ceremony they had downtown. You have been involved in the Parliament of World Religion. She was a key player in the Parliament, such a key player that she wasn't even able to attend all the events because she was so busy attending to making sure dignitaries got rides and everything from A to Z. You were working on that for about a year.
Yes, but locally.
Locally,
Yes.
for the Parliament of World Religions, which came to Salt Lake City. So thank you for that, and you've done so much. I would like to hear some of the. I love Unity of Salt Lake City. I speak at Unity of Salt Lake City. Most of us all, a lot of us all go there at least one time or another. What are the precepts of unity?
The the first precept is that we are one with Creator, one with God. And sometimes it's hard to grasp that concept. Sometimes we can have an intellectual understanding, but not always fully understand what that is. I like to think that we are extensions of God. So source, creator, by whatever name you use. I'm comfortable using the name God. God moves through us as us. We are part of God. God is part of us. So that's a very important principle because it affects how we live our lives. Because we are in the image and likeness of God, we are also creators. And how we create is through our beliefs, our thoughts, and of course, our words. And so in Unity, we teach that it's very important to be aware of what we're thinking and how we are expressing. And then we also believe that Jesus was our way shower. So he taught us how to live a life of love, compassion, and that was his primary message. So we want to follow in his footsteps. And that is how we come to a place of Christ consciousness. So what we teach is that everybody can rise up into Christ consciousness with that intention. And so you're Bonnie the Christ, I'm Sandra the Christ, following, the way of Jesus the Christ. Then we also believe that the way we connect and know that God is within us, to feel the presence, is through prayer and meditation. So we just come to that place of stillness where we can, when you breathe deep, right? You breathe deeply, you quiet your mind, and you can feel that presence within. And when we meditate on a regular basis, as you know, as this community knows, it changes our lives. It changes our day, minute by minute, changes our lives so that we can be in the world in a peaceful, joyful, contemplative way. And then lastly, we believe that it's not enough just to know the principles, but we must live the principles. That's probably the most important. A lot of people in religion, they know, but they don't practice what they're taught at church. And so what's the point? So we're practitioners of what we teach.
Thank you, Sandra. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I'd like to ask you, just going in line with what you had said, I want to know some examples how you walk your talk. I know you do because I know you. You've been a very dear friend. We met in 1996, probably shortly after you arrived. We've been good, very dear friends since. How are some ways that you do walk your talk? And I do know that you are very involved in charity and humanitarian projects. You've been involved with Center for Awakening, with our Costa Rica projects, with many of our projects to the Indians. And let me know some of the ways. Let tell the world some of the different ways that you do walk your talk, because I know that she does. This is one woman on this planet that walks her talk.
Okay, I'm blushing. Yes, I do contribute to several charities. Uh, I like having money. And you know why I like having money? Because of all the things that I can do with it to help others. And one of my favorite charities is Smile Train. When I learned that for a mere $250, doctors can fix a cleft palate of a child who lives in a third world country. And a child in a third world country with a cleft palate, it's hard for them to eat. They're not accepted into in society. They're rejected. And so once they have that surgery, then they're as good as new. They look just fine. They can speak. They can eat. And it makes $250 makes a huge difference in the life of this human being. And it's like, I can do that. And of course, Feed the Children, one of my favorites. And the Heifer project, I can't think of the name of it right now, but where I make a contribution and a woman can buy a goat or chickens or a pig or whatever, and so they have food to eat. Her family, it helps their family, and it helps the village. So if she has chickens, and she'll have the eggs, and she can sell the eggs, and anyway, in every way, it contributes to the well-being of an entire village. So also in walking my talk, I have to talk about radical forgiveness. I believe that forgiveness is the greatest act that we can do to show love. And I really like the idea of radical forgiveness because in this situation, you are not looking at how you've been done wrong, but instead you are looking at the part you've played in a contentious situation, the part that you have played. And this is where you say, I'm sorry for any beliefs, thoughts, words, actions I've taken that have contributed to this situation. I'm sorry for that. Please forgive me. And I absolutely love you. Even to a person that can irritate, when we look at how they embody the Christ, look beyond whatever may irritate, and know that we are one with that person. And this person has wonderful qualities, and we get in touch with that, and we acknowledge that. And that can change a person when you let them know that you see them who they really are, who they truly are. And then you say thank you. Thank you for having shown me how the part I played, and so that I can turn it around. It is so effective, so amazing, and I get to do that often, actually. So practice radical forgiveness. I love to do it. It's a wonderful practice.
Thank you, Sandra. You embody forgiveness and love as just who you are. And yes, you have been involved in many charitable projects and things in our community and worldwide. So thank you for that, Sandra.
My honor.
I'd like to ask you one last question. What is exciting and new for you on your spiritual path right now in time and space?
Barbie, did you come up with that question? Oh my goodness. What's new and exciting? You know, I think what's exciting, I don't know how new it is, but what's exciting to me is every time I go, aha, because I've had a deeper understanding of a spiritual concept, or when I've recognized that, wow, I've come a long ways. I am actually not struggling with this anymore. It's like, that is so cool. And so to me, that is the most exciting thing. I don't know. Don't you guys feel like that when you've discovered, wow, this is coming with more ease and grace than ever before? Woohoo! Yeah. There's always something new going on. And I know that I have in my mind to write another book, and I'm really excited about doing that. And with politics the way they are these days, talk about being contentious, and a lot of people are willing to be violent in how they respond to people, how they interact with people, and yet they call themselves Christians. And that bothers me. It just bothers me. They give Christianity a bad name. And I would like to write a book that addresses the issues of today in relation to what Jesus taught. So I would use the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and just take every issue and what would Jesus do if Jesus were alive today? Jesus who would be teaching the same message. And those who call themselves Christians get to look at whether or not they are following truly the way Jesus lived his life and showed us how to live our lives. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to get started. And I intend to write it before the year ends. That'll be my latest project.
Wow. Well, that was just on tape. Everyone heard, and now it'll be on YouTube. So that is an exciting book. I look very much forward to reading that book, taking the Christian principles of Christ on our present moment issues in our world. Fabulous. What a great contribution to the world, to society, to the community, to people. And Sandra, you are an author. You are a spiritual leader. She's also a storyteller. One of the things I first learned about her when I first learned about this amazing woman. And speaker, she's a profound speaker. She speaks often at Unity, being the spiritual leader. And we are just so honored and so fortunate and blessed to have you in our community and to have you on this planet. I see you reaching out, especially with this new book, reaching further out into the international realm. And we need people like Sandra Malbon all around this world making a difference. So let's all give a warm thank you to Sandra for this beautiful time together.